doing? Would you stop nibbling my lower lip? How are you all doing? Welcome back to my channel. It is a very toasty Monday afternoon here. Obviously, got Sienna behind me. This is not the worst mane trimming you've ever seen. I was just grooming her and I was like, what the heck, how did I manage to do that so badly? It is so wonky. Now, I do cut it with scissors simply because she's not going anywhere, so it really doesn't matter if I just do a bit of a show jumping look. But well, I don't know what I was on last time, but it certainly isn't straight, that's for sure. I mean, what's that all about? Anyway, this is not what I've come on to talk about. You'll have already seen from the thumbnail and the title that I'm taking you through Sienna's weekly work routine, what I get up to with her and why I'm doing the things I'm doing. Now, obviously, predominantly this year, we are trying to hack her more, trying to get her more confident on the road, just also not put her under too much pressure. That's why I'm trying to stay away from the school when possible. That being said, as much as I'd like to hack her all the time, we still have the fact that she has mild kissing spine and has had some SI issues. So we can't ignore her back. We need to continually try and get her stronger, better core, keep building top line. Like, that's never going to go away. That's always going to be a goal as well. Also, you know, she's a naturally large girl. And so, you know, trying to keep her weight down through fitness is also really important. So there's lots of aspects to her work routine. So as I said, I'm going to bring you along today. It is a Monday and it is pole work today, something I try and do with her every week to try and help with her core, to try and help with her strengthening her back. I do think she's lost a little bit of top line over her back since I've been doing more hacking and less in-hand work in the school, but that was probably going to happen anyway. And as you'll see later on in the vlogs, I still try and do hacks that are going to help improve her back. So yeah, let's get going. Before we get into the session, I do know she's covered in pea stains. It's not very attractive. I know she's going to have a bath after this because she's disgusting. And the flies on my breeches are broken. So my flies are undone the whole time. I do know it. I need to learn how to replace the zip on them. But I can't stop wearing them because they're my absolute favourites. They're the most comfortable. So yeah, I just have to ignore it. Oh, the sun's coming out and it's warm. You, madam, she keeps stealing all the weeds from around the arena. So she needs more food, honestly. I won't bore you with too much in-hand pole work because I've already got many videos on my channel of this. But this is what I set up for Sienna. I should have done more raised poles. I'm not sure why I didn't, because obviously the raised poles mean that she has to work a little bit harder when she steps over them and she has to lift her legs a little bit higher. I like to do transitions in front of the poles. Find that just helps and take a little bit more weight behind and just, you know, good workout for them. Yeah, I like to mix it up as much as possible, so I'll go across all angles of the poles and all different directions, anything to kind of keep her focused. I do find when I do in-hand pole work with her that she can be a little bit distant and a little bit distracted, and I don't know if she just finds it really boring, but sometimes she doesn't really listen to me and she's just kind of away with the fairies, and she does give the poles a bit of a knock here and there. I try and keep her neck and head like sort of out in front of her and kind of like middle position. Obviously I don't want her carrying it really high, and I don't really want her carrying it too low, though sometimes she does like to drop her nose right down. Never rush her. I allow her to take her time to step over the pole so she can try and be as careful as possible. And yeah, it's as much of a workout for her as it is me. Good evening, guys. It is a Tuesday. It is about 8 o'clock. Sienna is having a lead hack, as you can see. We've done about a 50-minute ride. Might be slightly shorter today because we've had to trot a lot more than I'd have liked. It is actually beautiful. However, this ride has been slightly ruined by the fact that we have had so much traffic. You wouldn't believe it right now because look at it, it's absolutely glorious. But there's a diversion quite some distance away, and they have sent, have you got a horsefly? Oh, I've seen it, hang on. There was a diversion quite some distance away from us, but they've obviously sent them through our village, and it was a lot of very grumpy cross drivers who just didn't give a damn, and I have to say it's been quite a stressful ride. How every ride finishes. Even though they go out in the field all day together, they never itch in the field, they only ever itch before and after a ride together. That's why I like to do riding and leading, because it gives me an opportunity to show her lots of scary things, but besides Corporal, who's going to give her confidence because he's bomb-proof. And actually this evening, as much as all that traffic was really annoying. We saw milk tankers, we saw massive Arctic lorries that we would never normally see, and she dealt with it all really well, other than the fact she jumped on the pavement at one point because there was so much traffic, and she might have pooed on the pavement, which is not ideal. To be fair to her, she kind of did it on the verge of the pavement, so it's not as bad, but I do think riding and leading helps keep her confidence up and keep giving her lots of new experiences. And actually, that ride was longer than I thought. It's about an hour, and we actually trotted far more than I'd normally do. So yeah, if I walked it all, probably about an hour and 10 minutes. So it's kind of a good average ride for us. But yeah, these two still having a lovely session. Good evening, guys. It is now Wednesday and Sienna has the day off today, mainly because it's really hot for the UK. I know in other countries not so hot, but hot for the UK. So I just thought today made sense to have off because the rest of the week is a lot cooler. And I could have only ridden her at lunchtime, and that's when it's pretty toasty. So she's had a day off. She has 1 or 2 days off a week. Her routine today has been out in the field till lunchtime. Then she comes in for a bit, and then she goes back out early evening to have a couple more hours out then, pretty much just to save me on haylage, really. And they love going back out in the field. Also, you know, the more Corporal's out, the less itching he's doing in the stables. So all in all, they are loving the kind of out in the morning, in the afternoon for a bit of a breather, let the stomachs go down a bit, and then back out for a couple of hours in the evening, and then back in again. So yeah, it's just mainly day off today because it's a bit hot. Also, there's a farm sale in the village, and it just means there'll be extra traffic on the road. So I thought all in all, today makes sense. So we'll be cracking back on with it tomorrow. Good morning, guys. It's now Friday, hence the, you know, puffy eye bags. And I'm about to get on and give Sienna a sort of half in-hand schooling session, half ridden schooling session. This week's not played out how I'd like it. She obviously had Wednesday off, which was planned, but she then ended up having yesterday off as well, which wasn't planned. And so it's been quite a length of time since I've sat on her, which I don't particularly like doing. It's just not really worked out how I wanted it this week, but never mind. Up nice and early to get on and get her ridden, though saying that, I'm a little bit behind. I need to be at work by 7:30, and by the time I've actually got her tacked up, got on and bought, just not that much time today, but anyway, gonna get on and get it done. So I've had a change of plan. I thought while it's vaguely still quiet on the road, it's daft not to take her for a hack. So we're off to do a hill hack. I can school her tomorrow. She's got a little bit sticky on her hacking recently. I'm not entirely sure why. She had a bit of a spook a few weeks back, but other than that, there's no real reason for it. Just suddenly gone a bit like stuck in the road. I like to play stuck in the mud sometimes. So I just need to continue working on her confidence and making her into the pro hacker that I want her to be. The reason I always do one hill work session a week with my horses is because there's just so many benefits to it. Great for their overall fitness, really good in improving their balance. I noticed this with Sienna a lot. When we're walking back downhill, she does struggle a little bit. You know, she's quite a big girl. There's a lot of her, and sometimes she does struggle to kind of keep herself together. So I find it really improves their balance. Great for building the hindquarters and just general muscle development over the back. I tend to like to do it in walk and in trot and try and keep a sort of soft, rounded outline. I'm not meant to be on foot, obviously, walking up a hill. I'm meant to be trotting up this hill. So I met a lorry and then a bus, and she wasn't having any of it. She's really lost her confidence, and it's bizarre. It's just, it seems to have plummeted from her. It's very hard to get on a hill. The road's picked up a bit as well, so it's getting a bit busy. So I'm hoping I can get on in the skateway, which might actually stand for me. We are back in one piece. That is when I wish, more than anything, that I lived somewhere that was quiet and not by 7:15. It's super busy out there, and obviously rush hour traffic, and so everyone's speeding by because they're in a rush and they don't want to slow down. And it's when I just think, oh, I wish I don't eat the reins. It's when I think, oh, I wish I just lived somewhere quiet, because it's very hard to educate a young horse and give them confidence and give them time to look at something and get them through it when there's just endless traffic all the time. And I don't want to get up at like 5:30 every morning. I don't like getting up early, but just some days I just think I wish I lived somewhere quiet where, you know, it wasn't busy by 7 o'clock. Good morning, guys. It is now Saturday. It's a lovely Saturday as well, and I'm out on the field, which is quite a rare treat for me because we don't have huge amounts of land to be able to ride along around me. Oh, I've just seen some hares over there. That's rather lovely. So it does mean that I'm doing another ride and lead with Sienna rather than actually riding her, which isn't ideal. I normally like to try and sit on her at least 3 times a week and then do in-hand work or lead her for the rest. But because we've got this amazing opportunity to ride out here, I'm going to do a little bit of riding and leading on the field just to get her used to coming out here, used to seeing the bales, and also just to kind of have a good influence in Mr. Coop, who is very sane and sensible. And so she knows that even if we're out in the field, it's just like going for a hack down the road and so on. It's very good for her because it's quite bumpy out here, it's quite ridgy and so on. And it's good for her balance. It's good for her to work out where she's putting her feet, because sometimes she can be a little bit ditzy, I should say. She does tend to fall over her feet a little bit, and you know, it's just good for her to have to work it out for herself and balance herself. And there's so many benefits of being able to go out in this field. Have you got a horsefly somewhere? So yeah, it's just such a lovely opportunity to be able to take them out, and hopefully in a few weeks' time I'm going to take her out here on my own and just give her a bit of a walk and trot round, if we're still allowed out here. So yeah, this is this morning's workout. Evening guys, it is the end of the week, it is Sunday, it is 6 p.m. I'm just out on the Sienna, as you can see, beating off the horseflies. Horseflies are pretty bad today. Couldn't decide between a hack or a school, so we've gone for a hack, doing a little bit of schooling on it. So I'm going to do a little bit of leg yield on it, a little bit of shoulder in, a few halts, that kind of thing. She has missed out on a schooling session this week, which isn't ideal, but you know, it's just the way it goes. I would have liked to have done a longer hack on her as well, like an hour and 3/4 type, but that didn't quite happen. But you can't fit everything in, can you? So it's still been a pretty good week. She's not been the most confident hacking again today. I don't really know what's going on, to be honest. I'm a bit confused by it all, but definitely a bit unsure again. I had to jump off twice. One for some sheep because they've been moved into a new field right next to the road, and I knew she wouldn't cope with that because these sheep have been in the same field for years. And of course, you know what horses are like when something moves that they've seen for so many years into a different spot. They're like, what the hell is that all about? And then she had some dogs running at her, which, to be fair, I was going to jump off for, because she doesn't mind dogs, but she doesn't appreciate them running at her, even if they are tiny. And I also wanted to slightly protect the dogs because I think she would kick if they got too close. So not entirely her fault, the reason for me getting off, but just generally feeling a bit unsure about everything. So yeah, don't know what it's all about, but we'll just keep plodding on and trying to sort it out and get her confidence back up. But I'm going to put my phone away. I'm probably going to kill a horsefly because I can definitely feel her flicking her tail around. And I'm about to come up to some cows, and she didn't notice them on the way here, and I don't want her to notice them on the way back. So I'm going to make sure I'm going to flex her nicely to the left so she can't see them, but I'm going to go before she can smell them. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and see you again next time.